Did you put last week's topic into practice? How helpful was it for you? Yes, you. Anyways, I miss you. Did you miss me too? I know you do. Welcome again to this week's series that has to do with our children. We started a very sensitive topic last week, and a lot of people have benefited from it. If I say a lot of people, I mean it. A lot of people dropped messages in my inbox, WhatsApp. They might not, many people really don't want to be out there connecting, but they found it very helpful. You know, topics we treat on here is for us to learn, keep it. For those of you that have not even had children yet, or have not started having children, it's something you should put in your archive because it will be useful one day. For those that have foster children, that has, that are guardian to some children, it's something, so long you're a caregiver, it is something that will be useful for you. So without no further ado, let's quickly catch up what we learned last week. We started with understanding and preventing sibling sexual abuse. That was the topic, right? If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. So we started with understanding sibling sexual abuse. When did it even start? How common is it? And yeah, I'm capturing this for those of you that did not watch last series, but it will still be important for you to go and watch last week's topic because I'm just going to, scan through. And don't forget, I have told you this topic will take us like 5 or 6 weeks to finish up. So, because I'm not going to rush it, it's a topic that hardly will you hear people discuss it. And for the information of those that do not know what sibling sexual abuse is, it is sexual abuse between children of same parents. Children of same parents, same father, same mother. That's sibling sexual abuse. I'm not pregnant, so I had pounded yam. Anyways, let me be serious. So it is the sexual abuse that happens between children of same parents, and it is out of every 100 sexual abuse that happens in the home front, oftentimes 80 of them is between children of same parents. And so we're able to also know why does sibling sexual abuse happen. We're also, most importantly, able to now start with how does parents contribute to sibling sexual abuse, which is the most important part, because some parents don't even know they contribute or they have contributed in the past. Okay, so we're able to touch on ignoring early warning signs, leaving children unsupervised, lack of education on body autonomy, favorism. One subtopic I forgot to touch on under that knowing your contribution is failure to intervene during rough and sexualized play. Sometimes we see our children hugging themselves for too long than necessary, kissing themselves. That means children of different sex kissing themselves mouth to mouth, touching each other's boobs or wherever that is known as the sexual part. We don't see anything. Like I said jokingly last week, some of us that are Christians will say, God forbid, it's a bad thought. It's a bad thought. No, my children will not think about that. Let me not even put it in their mind. Those that are Muslim say, I wish to be like. No, these children have organs that urges them or might urge them to want to be sensitive to some touches in some different areas of the body. There's a reason God has put it there, is for them to enjoy sex in the future and if possible procreate. So Because it's the body, it will still react to anybody that touches it until they begin to know their left from right, or begin to be matured enough to put in the boundaries. But before then, you set the boundaries for them. So it is important that as parents, you put in clear rules. Yes, we tell them when an outsider, when one uncle, when so person touches you, this is your private part. We should also tell them that when your brother, your sister does the same thing, it is child abuse. It's important to let them know. It seems like I'm screaming. Am I screaming? Okay, I'll lower my voice. So we should let them know that it is child abuse. So now to the topic of today. I do hope that I'll be able to finish up today's subtopic, which is how do we help? Now we have to remember that as much as we are focusing on those that it has not happened to, there are some people that it has happened to. We have the victim and the perpetrators. The victim is that person or that child that has been abused, and the perpetrator is that child that has once abused someone or that is abusing his or her sibling. I hope you got the explanation, right? So, both the victim and the perpetrators, how do we help them? One, believe them. For the victim, I will start with the victim. Ensure you believe the victim. I think that's one thing we have to learn. Whenever a child comes to you and says, "So person touched me here," even if the person denies, or even if that child denies, believe the child. Believe the child. The reporter, the victim, believe the child. The worst thing you can ever do as a parent is to dismiss your child's submission. That's the worst thing. Oh, I'm just playing with him. It's just a play. Believe the child. That's number one. After making findings and discovering that truly there was an abuse, immediately ensure that child seeks professional help. Remember, this is a case of something you can't even share with anybody. Even as a mother, you might not be able to share with their father, depending on how close your relationship is as parents. But as soon as you discover, either as a father or as a mother, ensure that child seeks professional help. Thirdly, create a safe environment. It might mean that you have to separate those children. Remember, they are both your children. One is the victim and one is the perpetrator. You might need to separate the victim and the perpetrator. Because if you don't separate them, there might be high tendencies. I'll still talk about the perpetrator. I'm talking about the victim now. There might be high tendencies that the perpetrator will want to repeat same act of abuse on the victim again, which might affect him or her psychologically or emotionally. Remember, the victim just came back from therapy. So when I say professional help, I mean let that victim go for therapy so as to correct his or her emotional and psychological system. Lastly is educate the victim on consent and sexuality. So especially if it's a case whereby the victim was being abused because he or she does not understand his or her body autonomy, educate him or her on setting boundaries, on consent. It's important you do that. Unfortunately, my time is up. Like I said, this topic is going to run for weeks. I'll do well to hang in there. Follow the series back to back. It's important to also, as you follow, do well to comment, share, subscribe. What do you think about today's topic? How else do you think we can help the victim? And how else do you think we can even help the perpetrator? I've not started on the perpetrator, but you can drop your own idea or what you think we can do to also help the perpetrator. Till I come your way next week, I'm still the queen of realities. Bye for now. I'll miss you.